All right, this is May 19th, 2009, 11:34 a.m. Burke Room at the library. This is the fire department's oral history number 16 with
Captain Benson, Joe Benson.
Okay. Start at the beginning. How'd you get started with the fire department?
Well, I was working for George Stevens over on the post office, right behind the fire department. I looked over there, and those boys was doing nothing. And I said, "That's a job for me." So I walked over there and walked up and said, "Uncle Tate, can I have a job?" And my wife's uncle was city manager at that time. He walked in and said, "Pete, hire this boy." So I got a job. I didn't know what the money was back in those days, or I'd stayed at the post office, but it was something different. I was hired as a ambulance attendant. There was only one or maybe two firemen on a shift, and then the rest of them was ambulance attendants. And I came in. First day I came in jeans and a t-shirt, no uniform yet. And I walked in the door, and 5 minutes later I was in the back of an ambulance picking up about 6 kids in a car wreck. Didn't know what the heck I was doing or nothing. So we started from there, and we worked a 24 on, 24 off at that time. And you was always at the station. You had callbacks, everything. And I just decided, if I'm going to be in this service, I'm going to get an education and stay here for 30 years. So I did. Can't say a whole lot for the first 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years were rough. We didn't have a decent truck. Well, we got our first truck, 1972 Ford, which was the biggest piece of junk I've ever seen in my life. And we were still driving the 61 on first responder calls, 61 or 53. Can't remember. But first fire call that went on, we jumped in the engine 1, or 6-1, and wouldn't start. We sat there and tried for the first 3 minutes. This was about 4 weeks after I'd been on the department. And we went lunch back in those days. We'd go to lunch and take an hour off and then come back to work. There was only 2 left at the station. So Rick Moore and myself jumped in that truck. It wouldn't start. Jumped out of it, jumped in the 54. It started. We took off down the road. Got down there, and first thing Rick Moore done was run into the ditch. We was stuck sitting there like this. Here's the hero. Had that hose, and we was fighting the fire. And the lady running around the house, "My babies, my babies, my babies." Here goes old hero. He jumps in the window. The only thing in there was 3 cats. Boy, did I feel like a fool. But we got the cats out. They were seeing us a little bit. We got them out. And from then on, it was mostly ambulance, constantly. We were answering calls all the way over in Denver, Turl, down to Amity Hill. I've even been to Kannapolis to pick up patients. It got a lot of blood and guts back in those days. The safety in cars wasn't very good or anything. Basically, I quit twice. I guess everybody knows that. One day, had 2 calls at one time. Well, 2 calls. First call came in, about a 3-year-old little girl fell out of a life jacket and drowned out on the lake. At that time, I had a 3-year-old son at home. And about 4 hours later, we had a 5-year-old drown. So that's the day I turned my coat in and walked off. Captain Whittington, Crofton Whittington, he's dead and gone now. He called me down about 3 blocks away and talked me back in the ambulance. But I went on to school, got some education. I became, bragging a little bit, I became the first instructor Mooresville ever had, fire instructor, first EMT instructor. I guess I was the first. Jeff came in, he got his associate degree before I got my degree. So Jeff was the first college graduate we had, I was second. I don't know how I graduated, but we had some rough times when it came to training. Some of the older captains didn't think a younger guy should be teaching them anything. But come to pass, it finally worked out. And everybody got certified as EMTs, and certified as firefighter 1. And I guess those was the highlights. I had some Western Alta fire. Everybody talks about that. That was a 24-hour deal. Hugo, I was on duty the night of Hugo, and that was a pain in the ass to be exact. We answered probably 100 calls that night. Was you on there?
No, I wasn't on it.
And we had every truck. Robinson, Poohberg Robinson, he was driving his personal car out for fire calls and stuff. Every man was called in that night. We worked 24 hours, turned around, went home, slept a couple hours, came back and started taking federal government things. This was a mess around Mooresville. Roof blew off. Had one poor girl trapped under a tree in her bedroom down here. We had to dig her out. That's about the worst one I had. And I think Chuck Lee's wife got hurt during that.
Yeah, I think so.
But Hugo, Western Alta fire was the worst.
FCX.
FCX was almost a deadly fire.
You spent some time, didn't you, in the
I
hospital?
spent 7 days in the hospital on that one. First 3 years, I got trapped in a fire down on Center Avenue. And I gave myself up for gone down there. And all of a sudden, the hose started moving. And I grabbed the hose, and it pulled me out. And ran out of air and everything down there. I was in the coronary unit on that one for about 3-4 days. I'll never forget. This might sound terrible. We had a police officer, prim and proper. Every hair had to be in place and everything. I came out of that building, hit the ground. And he picked me up, and I just threw up all over. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that one. That was scary, those two. I think we put about 100 people took them over to the hospital on the FCX. That was a bad. Last few years, we started answering, we got rid of the ambulance firemen. We started answering fire calls. And they started, it started out with, when I first went on, about 1 or 2 a month. The rest of it was ambulance calls. And then we got up to, I'm saying 20, 25. And the number of men hadn't increased that much. We went to 3 shifts, increased by 9 men. Back in the old days, we used old equipment, used police cars. Nowadays, you go down there and there's a parking lot full of brand new cars and brand new trucks. Shoot, we had to buy our own TV the first time around. Yeah. kitchen was out in the wash bay, in the apparatus bay, had a stove and a slop sink, and that was it. Refrigerator was in the inside. Didn't even have a sink in the bathroom. Commode, that was it. Worked with the police department, which was enjoyable, very enjoyable for both departments to work like they did. I can't tell you much more. I spent 30 years there. I loved every minute of it. I was a hard head. You cuss one of my men, you cussed me. And I didn't care if you were a chief or city manager. I'll tell you what I thought. That was my biggest problem. That held me back more than anything.
All right, Joe. Funniest moment do you remember? The way y'all liked the kid and everything. You got any ideas? Do you remember anything?
I didn't like practical jokes.
All right, you didn't play them, but I guarantee you laughed
I
at them.
got a lot of them. I laughed at them. But I got a lot of them. I'm scared to death of snakes. And I had a fireman, Mitchell Bryan. He has threw more snakes on me, or rubber snakes, stuff like that. Told him he was going to kill me one of these days. He'd give me a heart attack. But he was one of the worst. I guess the funniest part. Everybody got a laugh out of it. We had a house up here. We was going to do for training. And partially Jeff and I was in charge of the training, burning that house. Here goes old Joe. Prop been through there. And I'm looking around, making sure everything was right. Oh, there's a chest of drawers there. Oh, might be some goodies in there. Oh, the chest of drawers, and there's the biggest black snake you've ever seen laying there. They said they heard me come through that house like an elephant. They laughed, and man, it was funny afterwards, but I thought I was going to die on that one. I guess sitting Bobby Compton. He had been there a week. Gave him a brand new cowboy boots on. What did I do? I set him on fire. While he was laying there asleep. I'll never forget that one. Oh, there's been beds moved and put out on the roof. Back in those days, we was up in a dorm. They had taken, put the beds out on the roof, take slats out of the beds, all kinds of stuff. It was some fun. It was serious. We took everything serious. My guys was, our steam was, when we go out, we all come back. That was the main thing. And I guess I went out on a limb for my guys more than anything, I think. I hope that they can always say that Joe Benson took care of his men. And that's the only thing I care about. They said that I took care of them, looked after them. Basically, 30 years. When 30 years was up, I was ready to go. I hated the last year or so of my job. I don't know. Maybe I didn't hate it. But I know I love the guys. I miss them. Don't see it as much as I should. You walk in the fire department now, you don't have nobody. There's more people up there than I've ever seen in my life.
We're up to 82 now total.
82 people.
Can you believe that? How many people were there when you started?
7. Maybe 8. If you count the inspector.
So look at it now. I mean, look even since you retired.
Yeah, when I retired, there was about 18.
Yeah. So look.
7 years. 7 years.
It's just amazing what's going on, and just think we're maybe growing another 15 in the next 2 years. Most likely going to grow another 15 plus.
Well, I moved to Troutman, and I stopped by the Statesville Fire Department every now And I can remember them putting us down as a little old teensy, rinky-dink fire
Yeah.
department.
Now we're larger than.
No equipment. We're twice, we're about twice the size that they are.
Yeah, good size and larger, yeah.
They're down to 3 stations, or are they down to 2?
They got 3 stations, but they don't, they don't run 5-man engines like we do. They're hurting.
Yeah. We're growing. That's all there is to it.
Well, Joe, would you do all this over again?
Yeah. In a minute. I would change some things in my life when it comes to that. I put more time in the fire department than I put in my family. And that's something these younger guys, are going to have to understand. Fire department's a great place to be, but families comes first. I don't give a damn if the chief says, well, if you don't show up, I'll fire you. You kiss your ass. Your boy's graduation comes first. I missed a lot of my children's younger years. I was in school at night, working another job during the day, and answering fire calls at night, calling. We was on standby for ambulance weekends every night. There's somebody on call, and fire department, like Cam was in his younger days, alarm goes off, he's gone. Onto that fire department. Hey, there's a diaper to change. Let's stop and wait. They'll take care of it until you finish this. That's something that I hope these younger guys realize. Like everybody says, you transfer to Joe Benson's ship, you're going to be divorced. Everybody on my ship divorced, except one. Melvin Rogers. He stayed married. He's the only one. But, yeah, Kim, I'd do it over again. I really would.
I know you would, because I know you liked it. I know you run your mouth a lot, but I knew deep down inside you loved it.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I loved the consultation with the chiefs. Oh, I loved that. One thing about it, we could argue all day long in his office. I'd go out that door, that was it. Jeff and I, Jeff Baker, which you'll probably see on this, we had our times. He argued with the book. You read something out of the book, he'd argue with it.
Well, I think when we do these copies, you need to get a copy of this and watch this, and watch Jeff Baker's interview with us, see what he has to say about you.
Oh, Jeff was a great guy, but we was consultation. I guess we both loved it.
I want you to do that, Joe. I want you to do that. Because I know your guys do love you to death. Oh, Roscoe, Eddie, Monk and all that. We've already talked to Monk. They all love you. And, you look at you. You're getting ready to see Roscoe retire here this month, and Eddie, hopefully Eddie's going to get his back straightened out where he can come back around.
Well, I'll say I'm proud of every one of those guys. Every one of them made officer. Every one of them. And even my last group are all officers now. But they say, well, they just hired so many they had to make them officers. I had some good guys.
That's right.
I had some, like Ben Hess and I, we butted heads. But one of the smartest guys I ever met. Crazy when he goes in the fire. He's one of the smartest guys I ever met when it comes to fire department. Roscoe was one of the best. Eddie Nance, Monk Brett. Everybody talk about Monk. Monk was the best driver, engineer I've ever seen. Nobody could.
He can handle a truck,
He
that's
could
for
handle
sure.
a truck. He could handle a truck. But if I had it to do over again, I do it different. Spend more time at home, less time at the fire department. But like man says, I loved it. I loved every one of the guys. Even me and Jeff, we still love each other. And I guess with the uniforms off, we're the best friends of all now. Because we both worked at DEI together out there, not much together, but we saw each other every day. And we really had a good time. And I miss it. Oh God, do I miss it. I don't miss getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, going out and put snow on the ground. Ronnie Taub, when I was a girl, getting ready to have twins, going up to Statesville, and the chains blew off. We're sitting there spinning on 77, trying to get to Statesville. Him sitting there peeking and saying, "Woo, hurry up!" Those were good times. And you know, Cam, as much as I do, get close.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Real close. And you spend more time with the guys at the station than you spend at home.
That's right.
And it might be query or whatever you want to call it. I loved every one of them.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You don't just like them, you love
That's right.
them. Basically, that's all I got to say.
You sure? We can ask you more questions now.
Well, you can ask me whatever you want to.
You
I'll
think
either
we-
lie to you or tell you the truth. One or the other.
See what else you want to ask me.
Oh, okay. When the fire department looks back on this 100 years from now, again, they look back on it and everything. What do you want them to know that was the essence of the Mooresville Fire Department? What made the Mooresville Fire Department the fire department that it was or is? Or what would you want them to remember and hold on to as the most important part of the fire department?
The same thing they'll be holding on to, the people, each other. It's always, it's not the bread you get a truck out there. It's Cam, it's Jeff, it's Mitchell. You got an oddball and you should, be part of the shift. All of it. That's what they'll remember. They'll have it. They'll look back and say, look at those old farts out there, you know. Look at what they had to work with. They'll be working the same way we worked. All of us together. In the fire department, there's no one person. It's us, our, them. There's no. Oh, the chief. Yep. No, it's all of us, even the chief.
Did we ask your favorite truck?
No, we didn't ask that.
Favorite truck?
Yeah. Which was your favorite
You already
truck?
told us what the one you
A
hated.
1956 or 57 Ford pickup truck.
Ford.
They got from, what was his name? Grand Liquor.
I think somebody brought that truck up earlier too.
Yeah.
In one of these.
You could set that thing on 2 wheels and go anywhere. That thing could go around a corner on 2 wheels. He had a big old, I guess it was a 350 to 400 and built. And man, it would fly. I like that little old truck. Wish I had it now. I don't know who bought that thing. But fire engines, 061. The old, well, it was the first custom we ever had.
Oh, how?
Yeah, how the rest of them's pieces of junk. They were all 21. I hated that thing. God. I never could turn it over. Old Melvin could. Carlton Whittington. That's about all. But most of these guys don't remember Carlton
I don't remember.
and
Carl.
Rick Moore. And they were, well, yeah, a lot of them remember. Well, none of these new guys hardly remember Rod Wilson.
Yeah.
And
They don't know Ron. They wouldn't even know David Skinner. That's his son. Yeah. And bless Ron's heart, that's how I got the job I'm in right now. I got hired here.
yeah,
And Ron always used to tell me, the only way you're going to get a job here at the Morrison Fire Department is somebody dies.
I died.
And unfortunately, it was him that's the one that died.
It was good old boys days back in there.
It
You
was.
got hired by who you knew.
Yeah.
If you was a Democrat or if you was a Republican.
Or went to the Church of
We
God.
went to
Right?
the Church of God. That was the number one thing.
Those days are over.
That's the
for
first
sure.
question. You go in for an interview. Chief Pete Pender. He's looking, what church you go to? Bobby Smith. None of you remember Bobby Smith, probably. When I came to work, there was Bobby Smith, his captain, Carlton Whittington was captain. And I guess Bobby quit, and Doug Nance became captain. I was on his shift for about 3 weeks, but he became captain. Luckily, it was Christmas, and he gave me a present and all this stuff, and then I left the next week. But went to Phil McLaughlin. Phil's still alive. He'll be alive forever. He'll outlive me. Was made captain then. And worked with him for, 10, 15 years.
Really?
They always said, Phil always said, I'm going to retire when I hit 65. Well, everybody knew it. He lost all his birth records and everything in a fire over here at high school. That guy had to be, God, he had to be 70 before he retired and told everybody he was 65. But he could outwork all of us. He could outwork all of us. I hadn't seen Phil since he went to the nursing home. I need to get over there. The last time I met him, he didn't even recognize me.
He's about the same way right now.
That was back on it. Volunteers, gosh, we had volunteers running out of our butt back in those days. 90% of them was gung-ho. They always wanted to be in there. And they wouldn't listen half the time. They didn't know what an officer was back in those days. Hell, we was firefighters, that's all we were. Now I look up there and I say, there's more chiefs up here than there are Indians. You don't even have to put up a ladder anymore. Just grab it, push a button, and go upstairs. You know.
Things have changed. Equipment has changed.
Yeah. Sleeping in a dorm was really, really good. Especially when the monk snored. God, he could rattle the walls.
Well, you wasn't too shabby either.
Yeah, but I was by myself a lot.
Oh, I can't remember who it was, but we had somebody mention your feet.
Oh,
Your
God, they
shoes.
were terrible. They were. I had the roughest smell. My daughter's got the same feet. As she turns about 45, then it'll straighten out. Those days, I couldn't stand my own shoes. I had to put them out in the wash in the apparatus bay. I wanted somebody out of my room, take my shoes off. They left. Oh, I can remember Pete used to, Chief's office was here, captain's room was here. And I can remember Pete coming in with a spraying lights on every morning. Oh, God, they were terrible. Snoring, when you lived together like that, snoring, and they got a little rough. Yeah. I've talked to them about this before.
Well, sure, you can keep talking. No problem.
I've talked plenty. I probably said something I shouldn't have said.
No, you're fine, Joe. Done great.
But the idea of getting us all together will be.
Yeah, please do come. You are coming to Mitchell's retirement, right?
No, I don't come back to those.
Why not?
It's just me. I just don't do it.
Well, you need
I
to be.
miss two, so
Well, you need to be going to his house.
yeah. Oh hell, Mitchell made more money off of me than anybody around.
I know y'all talk.
On two houses, he done
I know.
broke big one for me.